Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Edge Sports Network. We got another interview for you guys today, part of our summer series. We got Amari Davis, University of Wisconsin, Green Bay, one of the best players in the Horizon League this past season. Amari, thanks so much for joining us here on the site today.
Thanks for having me.
Great to have you on. So, as I mentioned, you were one of the best players in your conference this past season. I'll start here. You were the Horizon League Freshman of the Year, first in program history to do that at University of Wisconsin, Green Bay. So, how does it feel to have that accolade under your belt and just to have that success in your first year here?
It feels good having that accolade. It was a lot of greats that came through here, including Tony Bennett. Just hearing my name mentioned with his, it's an honor for real. And just the fact that I'm a freshman that came in and did what I did, and so the sky's the limit for me going through college.
For sure. You averaged 15.9 points per game in this first year here, 4 rebounds, 1.5 assists. You were extremely efficient and consistent, too. Shot 51% from the field, scored in double figures in 26 of your 33 games. I know heading into your freshman year, obviously the transition can be a little bit different from high school to college. You had an unbelievable high school career, especially in your senior season. How was making that transition from high school to Division I basketball?
I'll say probably the size-wise was the only thing I was kind of worried about because I know in college, playing against, grown men, they bigger, stronger, older than me. But as far as the pace of the game, my high school team, we played fast. So when we played fast here at Green Bay, I never lost a beat. I was right with the other guys. But other than that, I transitioned good.
For sure. You looked really confident out there your first season. I know your senior year of high school, you averaged 30 points per game. So obviously you had some confidence heading in. I'm sure it carried over. Going back to your high school career here, how'd that kind of get you ready for Division I basketball? What kind of things did you learn in your high school program that helped you for where you are right now?
Just being a leader, every year in high school, I think I always had one guy that was kind of above me because of their grade. They was better than me. But as soon as my senior year came, I knew I had to be the leader of the team. So I just made sure everybody was doing what they doing, and I made sure I did what I had to do to help the team win. And then just the constant work, after practice, I'll get up shots. Before practice, I'll get up shots. Off days, I'll get up shots because I knew, in college, that's all you got to do is get up shots and stay in the classroom.
Yeah, you kind of came out and you looked you just looked ready, basically. That's the best way to kind of describe it. So clearly you were getting in that work whenever you could. I know, you're from Ohio. What kind of had you set on going to Wisconsin, Green Bay? What was the kind of decision process like for you?
It was very interesting. I know the teams that offered me, I think they offered me going into my junior year. I think those teams they were no longer in contact with me. So I was kind of like, where do I go? And then I had got a call from Coach Darner, and we had talked, and he said he wanted me to get down here for a visit. So and then I told my parents, I'm like, if I go on the visit and I like it and I like the coach and I like what they're doing here, I'm gonna commit. I'm not gonna wait. And I was gonna get it out the way before my senior year. So when I came up here, I had all the guys tell me how they felt. They were saying, it's a good campus, a good team, good coaches, good support. And I like the area up here, so that sold me on my visit, so I committed.
For sure. And I know, Green Bay, Wisconsin in general, they have really good, sports atmospheres, really dedicated fans. In your first season here, how was kind of the fan support, just the Green Bay community to you and you guys as a team?
Oh, the Green Bay community was good too. Everybody think big schools, they bring big crowds and stuff. But in the Crest Center or the Rec Center, it won't get filled up all the way, but it's a decent amount of people here. The fans come, they cheer us on. Even when we lose, they still cheer us on. So I love the fan support here.
And have they convinced you to be a Packers fan yet up there? That's a question everyone wants to know. Have they got you on that boat?
Yeah, they've been trying to get me to a Packers game, but I think it's on hold right now with all this stuff going on.
Yeah, for sure. See, yeah.
When I open back up, I'll get to one.
I hear you. Yeah, I hear it's a great atmosphere up there at Lambeau. I actually go to Marquette right now, so I think like I don't really know how long the distance is. What, a couple hours, 3 hours maybe? I know it's quite a bit of a drive, but
Yeah.
everyone's telling me to get up to a Green Bay game, but I don't know. Hopefully I get up there. But unbelievable atmosphere I hear. So you definitely got to get out to a game. I got to get out to a game, and we'll see what it's all about out there. But I mean, looking back at your first season here, what were some of the memories that you have? Some of the things that really stood out to you that you kind of look back on right now and select as like a favorite memory that you had all year?
I think I would say my first start
Mm-hmm.
against Montana State. That game, I think I had 28,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew like if I'm starting now, like I'm gonna have to show coach like why I should be starting.
Mm-hmm.
So when that game, I just went out and I went crazy
Mm-hmm.
on both ends of the floor,
Mm-hmm.
rebounding and shooting. And then I say my other favorite memory is probably when we played Oakland in the quarterfinals, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when I got my first dunk of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And just how loud the crowd was, and my teammates was, celebrating with me, and I was just happy that we was
Mm-hmm.
able to move on to the Final Four.
For sure. You guys got the win in that game against Oakland, in the tournament, the Horizon tournament, of course. I know you just kind of briefly touched upon that atmosphere in that game. Going into a tournament game, though, for your conference, what's kind of the pregame preparation for that? Is it a little bit different than regular season, or you just kind of try and keep that same routine that you usually have?
I always keep the same routine. It
Mm-hmm.
is, I want to make like what I do a habit. So every
Mm-hmm.
time like it come up, I do the same thing, and I don't do nothing different. I don't look back and regret anything that I did.
Mm-hmm.
So I just have my beats in, listening to my music, got a ball in my hand, or I'm stretching or getting some rest. So that's kind of the preparation that we had. But I knew that game was bigger
Mm-hmm.
for some other people like the seniors, because it was their last go around.
Mm-hmm.
So I just made sure I had to do what I had to do.
Got the job done in that game, and you performed well, personally as well. I know one thing that really stands out, of course, is your shooting percentage, 51%. That ranked second in the entire Horizon Conference, and I mean that helped you out here break the all-time freshman scoring record at Green Bay. Throughout the season, I mean, did you kind of know you had a chance at that record, or were you just kind of so zoned in that you didn't even realize it?
I really was just zoned in. I know. I think the Horizon League Freshman of the Week came out, I think, every Monday
Mm-hmm.
or so. But like, I was never like stuck on it. I would just get a call from like my mom or dad and be like, "I saw you got Freshman of the Week," and
Mm-hmm.
like I wouldn't even know because I'd be at practice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I didn't. I never thought I'd break the scoring record. But then I
Mm-hmm.
think couple games before our last game, they was like, he's getting close. So I didn't get the big head or anything. I just kept
Mm-hmm.
doing what I was doing.
I mean, yeah, you stuck to it. You were consistent the entire year. Double figures in 26 to 33 games, as I touched upon earlier, right there. And, going into the second year now, you're coming off a great first year, something to definitely build upon. I know it's been a weird off season with everything going on. How's the off season looked for you? What have you kind of been working on to try and get toned up or ready for this upcoming year?
First of all, I'm preparing to play in mask.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all they've been having us do. But
Yep.
then again, I'm working on my 3-point shot. The coach has been helping me, get my 3-point shot better and just be confident shooting it.
Mm-hmm.
Like almost our whole team is gone. So I'm with PJ, Josh, Japan, and Gio. So I got to be one of them leaders on this team.
Mm-hmm.
So just being a leader and talking up more.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. I mean, you're definitely going to be one of the leaders on this team. You're nearing those upperclassmen years here. What are kind of your goals for the sophomore season too? I mean, do you have any goals that you're really focused on achieving, just personally and as a team?
I want to win the conference tournament,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to get my assists and rebounds up. I know a couple games I showed like I can pass the ball more or like
Mm-hmm.
rebound a lot, so I just want to bump them averages up,
Mm-hmm. For
get my
sure.
team more involved.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, you guys definitely saw some success this past season, something to definitely build upon. I'm sure you guys, are gonna have a good year here. I'm hoping that you guys get started on time. And playing in masks definitely gonna be unique. I mean, how's that been? Have you been able to kind of I mean, I would imagine it's tougher, but are you able to kind of keep stamina up and stuff even with the masks on?
Yeah, I think the more and more we do it, we kind of like become accustomed to it. I know
Hmm.
the first couple workouts we had, I'm like how do we do this? Like,
Yeah.
cause every time I breathe, it's like the mask is like, it's holding everything back. But
Hmm.
I think we keep doing it. It shouldn't be a problem, but it
Hmm.
might be a problem for some people. But
Yeah.
I think if we keep doing it, we'll be good.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of those things. The more kind of reps you get with it, you'll get a little bit used to it, and I feel like that's how the whole world's gonna be. Like, you look like 3 months down the road from now, wearing a mask is just gonna be like any normal thing. So, hopefully things do start to get better, and there does come a day where we don't have to wear masks again. But for the time being, just gotta get used to it. And I know, you've been really good on both sides of the floor. I know you mentioned you kind of like to, stuff the stat sheet on both sides. So if you could kind of describe your style of play, how would you describe it?
Uh, probably a guy that can do it all.
Hmm.
Minus the 3-point shot just for now until I keep working on it and get better at it. But
Hmm.
I can get to the rim either way, left or right, or I can pull up.
Hmm.
I'm a good defender. I can jump, get rebounds, and I like dishing to my teammates for
Hmm.
assists.
No doubt. Paid off in your first year here. Looking forward to seeing what you're going to do in the second year here and beyond. And, as the interview kind of wraps up here, I'd like to ask you a few fun questions. And then there's one question at the end where it's, the $1 million question, we call it. You might have thought about it, you might have not. We'll get to that one. First fun question I have for you here. When you're not on the court, what are you kind of doing in your spare time?
Play the video games with my teammates.
Hmm. What games are we playing?
2K.
There you go. There you go. Which teammate would you say is the best 2K player on your team besides yourself? Because I'm sure you probably think pretty highly of yourself, on 2K here. So if you had to pick another guy, who would it be?
Probably be we got an incoming freshman
Hmm.
named Jacob. I don't
Hmm.
think I beat him yet, but I beat everybody else but him. So
Oh, there you go. He
he's the best right now.
sounds like he's got a target on his back for this upcoming year. So, what's
Right.
your team of choice? Who you usually go with?
Mavericks.
Oh, there you go.
Dallas Mavericks.
That's a go. I like how you're not staying mainstream with like the Clippers or like the Lakers or
Right.
something. You gotta find that kind of niche team. So that's a good choice right there. You got Doncic, Porzingis, so pretty good option right there. With
Boban.
there you go, there you go. I'm sure you're getting double. You got to be getting double doubles with him, right?
Oh yeah.
There we go. That's what I like to hear right there. So yeah. I mean, best of luck with your 2K endeavors this year too. You got to go out there. You got to beat Jacob. Let us know when you do. So. Um,
All right.
There we go. I also want to ask, I mean, what's kind of a fun fact about you, something people might not know?
Fun fact. Man, well, most people don't know. I'm real goofy and like chill and laid back.
Hmm.
Like I think when I play, I have like a serious look on my face and like
Hmm.
I don't smile a lot. But like everybody knows like how I am. Like I'm probably the goofiest, most chill person ever.
Hmm. There you go. I mean, you gotta get serious on the court though. So I see where it is. It's like a
Right.
tale of two people. You got your off court personality, and then once you get on the court, it's all business. So I think that's the way to be. You gotta have that mentality when you're out there to succeed, and I mean, keep doing it because it's paid off for you. So I think you're good there. Um, Here's another question for you. Any player in the NBA, past or present, if you could get lunch with any player, I mean, who would it be and why?
It'll definitely be LeBron
Hmm.
because to me he's the greatest player of all time,
Hmm.
and just what he did. He's from Akron, from Ohio, like
Hmm.
I am, and he came back to Cleveland and got a championship for that city. So that kind of meant a lot to the whole state to me, not just
Hmm.
Cleveland. And I think I seen him one time in person. I saw how huge he was.
Oh yeah,
So I think it would be I want to get lunch with him.
that's a great choice right there. And like growing up in Ohio and stuff, I mean, I don't think we've had anyone from Ohio on we might have had a few people from Ohio on the site, but I don't know if we've had any basketball players from Ohio. How is it just kind of growing up with having a guy like LeBron kind of be the face of basketball so locally. I mean, how was that as just kind of an inspiration and someone to kind of look up to?
It's a big inspiration. I know like 3 out of the 4 years of my high school career, I think we played St. Vincent St. Mary's.
Mm-hmm.
I think we beat them. I think we beat them one time out of like 4 or 5.
Wow.
So just the fact that we was playing them, and I think the year that we lost him in the Final Four, I think he gave a shout out to my other teammate because I think he played good.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking like that could be me one of these years, like
Oh yeah.
playing them or playing another team.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, so there's still a pretty good program even after LeBron's left, huh?
Right.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, LeBron definitely one of the best to ever do it. Definitely has a great case for greatest of all time, no doubt about it. I know we don't have to get into the Jordan LeBron greatest of all time argument with that could go on for hours and stuff. So we'll put them on the same level there as the two goats, I guess. But everyone has their different opinion on that. So I know we've talked with a lot of guys on the site about that Jordan LeBron debate, and it's definitely an interesting one. So that's always good. For the last fun question here, I mean, growing up, were there any athletes besides LeBron that you kind of looked up to? They don't have to play basketball, they could, but just any guy that you liked their mentality, their style of play, or just how they did things on the field, on the court, wherever that may be.
I have to say Kobe Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
I know, like most people, like when they talk about Kobe, they talk about his work ethic. He's always in the gym, getting up a lot of shots. Just trying to better himself and better his teammates.
Mm-hmm.
You look at some of his championship rings. He didn't have any all-stars on his team but him. But he still got the job done. Made them better.
Mm-hmm.
So just the fact that how he impacts people
Mm-hmm.
and work on his game a lot.
Great mentality, huge impact on and off the floor. So definitely a guy that's inspired kind of our generation of basketball players, and it's great to see his legacy live on through them, through guys like yourself, playing in college right now, kind of that next generation of the league and stuff. So great to see. The $1 million question here, though, I mean, this is the one that's everyone's favorite. If you could give any piece of advice to kids growing up right now that want to someday play college basketball, maybe they're looking at you and saying, you know what, I want to beat Amari Davis's freshman point record. What would that advice be that you could give to those kids that kind of want to someday be in your position?
I'll say stay focused.
Mm-hmm.
Surround your people that knows what's good for you or would support what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And just stay level.
For sure. Great advice right there. And I've seen you kind of live by that on the court, and it seems like in your off seasons too, you've really been living by that. So I want to say, first of all, congrats on a great first season with Green Bay. Fantastic year for you, and wishing you nothing but the best in your remaining time at Green Bay and beyond. Looking forward to see what you do this year and the years to come. But Amari Davis, I mean, thanks so much for joining us here on the site today. It was great to have you on. We'd always love to have you back.
All right, thanks for having me.
No problem at all. We'll put your Twitter down below so people can go follow your journey. We'll also put a link to Green Bay Basketball's website so you guys can follow this year for news and updates and beyond, of course. But guys, as always, thanks so much for joining us here on the site, Edge Sports Network, part of our summer series of interviews. Hope to see you guys again. And as always, we'll see you guys next time.